Missouri journalist compared the NRA to ISIS. It seems New York Magazine is trying to outdo their foolishness. In a recent article titled "ISIS Appreciates the NRA's Work," the magazine claims that loose gun laws in the United States make us susceptible to terrorism. The only thing is, they don't. Joining us now to discuss is Medal of Honor recipient and big fan of the Second Amendment, Dakota Meyer. Dakota, thanks for joining us this morning. So what do you make of this argument that ISIS thanks us for the Second Amendment?
Well, first off, I mean, how much lower can a journalist fall to be taken, using ISIS as their credible source, right? So, but I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I think that, once again, the media is going out and they're using their First Amendment to try to go after the Second Amendment by not looking at the facts. I mean, here's the facts of the whole thing of it, right? I mean, you look at San Bernardino, right? I mean, in California out there, they have, the restricted AR-15s. You got to have a background check on every single weapon. You have to register all your weapons out there. You have a waiting period. All these things that they want to implement even more. And what's the shooting caused by? An AR-15 with high-capacity magazines. It doesn't seem like it works in that situation. Let's go to Paris. No weapons are allowed over there, right? They're using machine guns and hand grenades. So it doesn't seem to work over there either.
Turns out
Go to Fort Hood.
Turns out ISIS doesn't want to play by gun laws, whether they're on the books or not. This is what ISIS propaganda had to say about those gun laws. They said in most U.S. states, anything from a single-shot shotgun all the way to a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle can be purchased at showrooms or through online sales by way of private dealers with no background checks and without requiring either an ID or a gun license. There's a reason for that, because we have a Second Amendment. The overwhelming majority of guns are purchased by legal gun owners. But if you've got an enemy that wants to exploit your free society, that's the problem to begin with. That's not a Second Amendment problem.
Listen, I mean, exactly. I mean, if they're here to do that, then I think that, they need to be arrested. I mean, we got to look at it. The only thing that's standing between us and them coming over here and being able to run and do whatever they want is the Second Amendment, is us being able to bear arms. And that's what the article should read. The article should read that, look, the thing that stands in the way of ISIS being able to come over and come and have and do terroristic acts is the NRA standing there and protecting her rights to be able to bear arms and stand up for herself. That's what it should read.
Do you expect
because that's what separates us from Paris.
Well, of course.
I mean, that's what separates us.
Do you expect New York Magazine to come out in favor of extreme vetting? I mean, when the unfortunate school shootings happen, is it the gun that pulls the trigger or the person? In this case, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's an ISIS fighter that does. Why wouldn't we pay attention to whether or not they're coming into our country? Well,
I mean, look, exactly. I mean, but you got to look. I mean, the thing about it is that, the media has gone out rogue, and I think that that's more dangerous than what our gun laws are right now. I mean, under the Obama administration, the Justice Department said that 1/10%. Now, here's the facts: 1/10% of those guns sold in these places that they're talking about are used in crime.
Sure.
I mean, I think we're getting it right then, aren't we?
Well, in a free society, you're not going to get it right every time, but if it's 1/10 of 1%, you're doing pretty darn good. Medal of Honor recipient Dakota